Students, last time we have seen the micro motion study. The micro motion study is nothing but the filming or the picturization of the motions of the operator, and then watching it in slow motion, we can analyze what unnecessary motions the worker is doing. So that can be we can study the perfect, or we can say the ideal way of carrying out that activity by studying the motion. So micro motion study is the study of fundamental element or subdivision of an operation by means of motion picture camera and timing device which accurately indicates the interval of motion picture. So not only it is picturizing the motions, filming the motion, but also it noting the time taken for that, and that time can be in winks that we have seen last time. It is one divided by 2000 minute. One wink, WINK wink is, so the motions are so rapid and so fast. So if it is to be analyzed with naked eyes, we cannot see what mistakes or what repetitive motions or what wrong the operator is doing. So by filming or picturization and then watching it in slow motion, we can analyze it better way. So it provides valuable technique for making minute analysis of those operations that are short in cycle, very rapid movement, rapidly. So such type of things we have seen last time. Uh, so these are where it is applicable and all that. Applicable for operations with very short cycles, means that all the time we are repeating maybe thousands of times in a very short period of time. So this sort of activities are to be analyzed properly with the help of picturization or filming of that. Goes into greater details to determine where movement and efforts can be saved. So ultimate aim is to save the movements, to save the efforts, and to make the job more comfortable for the operator, so that that job can be done very easily and in a better way. So enable operator to perform operations repeatedly with minimum effort and fatigue. So this is the obvious objective of the micro motion study. So this technique usually involves filming the operation and hence known as micro motion study. Micro motion is nothing but the filming of the activity and then watching it in slow motions. So for analysis we require a projector, all that. Then we have seen the SIMO chart also, simultaneous motion cycle chart, where we can uh, chart the activities with respect to the winks or the time that we have seen last time. One wink is 1 by 2000 minute, and we can attach a wink counter simultaneously, and we can plot such type of charts. This is known as SIMO chart. So this we have seen. Then there we have seen Therbligs. Therbligs is nothing but the anagram of this name of a scientist, Gilbreth. So it is just reverse of that spelling of his surname, Gilbreth, Therbligs, because he has founded this. And these human activities he has grouped, and he has given the symbols and the color to every group and every single moment, and that symbols and that color given to that is known as Therbligs. So Therblig covers moments reasons for the absence of movement. So every Therblig has a specific color and symbol and letter for recording purpose. So for recording purpose we can use the letter, symbol and color of this Therblig. So these are the letters given for these particular Therbligs. So it is not only the human movement but also the state of his mind also here. It is given in the tables. So we can see the alphabets given. Transport MT is given as TE. Grasp is given as G. So we have seen this last time. Rest is R. So these alphabets are given for these activities, moments, small moments, and these are the symbols given. Transport empty is T, transport loaded is TL, and this is the symbol and the color, so that we can identify very easily and very readily that uh, because of that the different colors are shown for the symbols, so that we can identify what activity is given in the chart very easily. Then there are principles of motion economy. The two hands should begin, this also we have seen last time, two hands should begin as well as complete their motions at the same time. So how economically we can move, or we can do the motion while doing something, that is what is principle, or that is what is needed, that is for that these principles are given, that both the hands should operate simultaneously. How minimum, in minimum time and with minimum effort, how we can complete a job, that is what is principle of motion economy. This we have seen last time. Then we have seen this workplace also. uh, I have given you the example of kitchen last time, that in kitchen everything we place within reach of our hand, whatever the these things we are requiring for cooking something. So we place everything at a place where we can reach very easily. So utensils or any sort of flours or whatever it may be, it is all the things which are required for cooking the food, we keep it within reach, so that in minimum time and with minimum effort we can have that material. So that is what is workplace of a human being who is cooking the food. So everywhere you can find. So if you are sitting in the table doing a job, so how comfortable you are in that chair, how that human posture or that sitting posture while operating something. So these things are very critical when we are doing the small things repeatedly for a longer period of time. So all the times, in 8 hours a day, if you are doing the same job and the activities are repeated very rapidly, then in this case we have to study it very at a micro level, and we can see that whether we can reduce the efforts and we can save the time. So this we have seen last time, the workplace and the work area for the male and the female as per the dimensions. This we have seen last time. So related to workplace, the bins should be gravity feed. Gravity feed means वरून टाकलं असं की त्याच्यात ते पडलं पाहिजे, म्हणजे अशा ठिकाणी असलं की आपण ते त्याच्यात सोडून दिलं तर त्याच्यात आपोआप ते पडलं. ग्रॅव्हिटी, बिकॉज ऑफ इट्स वेट, वॉट एव्हर वी आर पुटिंग इन दॅट बीन should fall in that correctly, because it should be at such height of the operator with respect to operator that it should be easily gravity feed. So gravity feed bins and containers should be used to deliver the material close to the point of use. Drop delivery should be used whenever possible. Very obvious. Materials and tools should be located to permit the best sequence of motion. So we know we very common example in everybody's daily life. We can take our kitchen, where we are doing our the everything related to the cooking of food. So we know that in our kitchen we put the everything within reach and at a particular place where we can get it at minimum effort and in minimum time, so that it will be easier for the human being who is cooking the food. So provision should be made for adequate condition for seeing. दिसलंही पाहिजे ते प्रत्येक गोष्ट जी तुम्ही करता आहात. So good lighting for the is the first requirement. So unless you are having the good environment with at that workplace, लाईट जर कमी असला तर डोळ्यावर ताण येईल, थकवा येईल. सो इट इज ऑल रिलेटेड टू दी ह्युमन कम्फर्ट. द वर्क place or that workplace which the human being is working should be comfortable. So for that we are we are saying that it should be having good lighting, good ventilation. All these things are very obvious. Then drop deliveries whenever possible, it should gravity feed. Then materials and tools should be located, this we have seen. Provision should be made for adequate condition for seeing, good illumination, lighting should be very good. Then height of the workplace and the chair should preferably be arranged so that the alternate sitting and standing at work are easily possible. So here you can see the height of chair, the height of table as per the dimension of the human being. The data of the female height, female reach, female length of hand, so everything that is known as anthropometry. The data of the human dimensions and the data of the human dimensions of the male and the female. So on the basis of that we can design a workplace for a male and for a female. So this is shown here, the height of chair for the female, height of chair for the male, then how much clearance should be there between table and chair for a male and for a female. So we can see this from this that our aim is to make the human being comfortable at the workplace so that he can be or she can work with 100% efficiency. So this is shown here. Or as this is related to the human being who is operating. As related to the tools and equipment, we can find, if we are having jigs and fixture, we can locate a workpiece very easily. त्याच्यामध्ये तो वर्कपीस टाकून दिला की आपोआप तो लोकेट होईल. म्हणजे तुम्हाला तो लोकेट करायसाठी किंवा क्लॅम्पिंग करायसाठी किंवा तो विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू टूल त्याला व्यवस्थित पोझिशन करण्यासाठी आपल्याला खूप एफर्ट्स घ्यायची गरज पडणार नाही. त्याच्यात ते टाकून दिलं की तो आपोआप लोकेट होईल. सो सच टाईप ऑफ डिव्हाइसेस वी कॅन यूज टू रिड्यूस द ह्युमन एफर्ट. द हँड शुड बी रिलीव्ड of all work that can be done more advantageously by a jig and fixture. सो हाताचं आणि डोळ्याचं आणि ह्युमन एफर्ट्स आपण कमी करू शकतो जर आपण अशा प्रकारच्या गोष्टी यूज केल्यात. देन टूल्स, जसं आता याच्यामध्ये स्पॅनर आहे, न्यूमॅटिक स्पॅनर वी आर युजिंग टू bolt or unbolt the wheel from the car. So if simultaneously we can have 2 or 3 or 4 spanners, so we can reduce the time. So 2 and more tool can be combined whenever possible. So we can, if it is possible, then we should combine the more tools simultaneously. Tools and materials should be pre-positioned whenever possible. When each finger performs some specific movement such as typewriting, the load should be distributed in accordance with the inherent capacity of the fingers. So as per the capacity of the fingers, we should give the load to that particular human organ. levers and hand wheels and other controls should be located in such positions that the operator can manipulate them with the least change in body position with the greatest speed and ease. This is, we have discussed a lot about that by doing all this, what we are doing, we are making the human or that human being who is operating in at that workplace more comfortable. So all the things should be available to him, the required material for the operation, whatever tools, whatever equipments, the workplace. So everything which is needed for that operation should be easily and readily available with him, and he should pick and place and whatever it may be with the very least efforts and at a great speed, so that the efficiency of that worker will increase as well as the productivity will increase, and he will find his job or her job more comfortable, he will be more satisfied. So everything will be better if we are doing all this. So by analyzing the workplace or by analyzing the motion of a human being at a workplace, by studying all this, what we are doing, we are reducing the efforts, we are saving the time, and we are also increasing the productivity. So that is the objective, main objective behind the method study. What we have seen, all the things involved in method study. So this is all about method study. Next thing is work measurement. So in work study there are two things. One is method study and the other is time study. That time study is also known as work measurement. So work measurement is the application of techniques designed to establish the time for a qualified worker to carry out the specified job at a defined level of performance and at a defined rate of working. So it is nothing but a fit worker who is skilled worker who is having knowledge of doing all the things correctly. The time taken by him, the minimum time taken by him to do a job correctly, means to carry out a specified job, that job at a defined level, means what, correctly, what is it is given in the specification, how it is to be done. Then he ideally he is doing that job and at the required rate of working. जे स्पीड पण आणि स्पीड आणि मेथड त्याची करेक्ट असली पाहिजे. त्याला किती वेळ लागतो एका आयडियल वर्करला, दॅट इज व्हॉट इज कॅल्क्युलेटेड, दॅट इज व्हॉट इज स्टँडर्डाइज्ड, अँड देन इट इज compared with the other workers. So work measurement is the application of technique designed to establish the time for a qualified worker to carry out specified job at a defined level of performance and or at a defined rate of working. So a standard time is calculated to perform a job, and then that time is used as standard time for performing that job at a defined level. A qualified worker is one who has acquired the skill, knowledge and the other attributes to carry out the work in hand to satisfactory standards of quantity, quality and safety. So a qualified worker, the time for qualified worker is to be calculated. So who is qualified worker? The qualified worker who has acquired the skill and who is having the knowledge of doing or carrying out that work to the satisfactory standards of quantity, quality and the safety. So he is doing the job correctly, carrying out the work correctly in the specified time and safely. So all that things are required, so we can call it as a qualified worker. So defined rate of working is the amount of work that can be produced by a qualified worker oblique employee when working at normal space and effectively utilizing his time, and where work is not restricted by process limitation. So rate of working is what? The amount of work done in a specified time by a qualified worker. That is what is rate of production, we can call it as our rate of working. Then the objectives of this work measurement or the time study, the second part of work study. First part we have seen method study. How a job is performed is method study. Now in what time it should be performed is time study. So objectives of work measurement: to compare the efficiency of alternative methods. So whatever alternative methods of doing a job we are having, so 3, 4, 5, we have to carry out all that methods. We have to perform that job with all that methods, and we can see which is the best possible method. So we can compare the efficiency. So why we are doing this time study? To compare the efficiency for the alternative methods of doing a job. Cost estimation, we can estimate the cost also. Pricing of product and services, obviously when we estimate the cost we can decide the price of that product. Then incentive pay systems, how much we can pay to the worker, how much incentives we can pay to the worker. So with the help of this we can do this. Capacity planning, capacity planning we can do on the basis of time measurement, or we can say work measurement or time study. Then we can schedule the production. Scheduling is over a period of time how much we can go for the rate of production, that is what is production scheduling. To provide information on which estimates for tenders, selling prices and deliveries. So all this can be based on the time study, and promises can be based. So whenever some customer is ordering some product, so at what time it will be delivered to him, that we can promise him on the basis of time measurement. So if we can take an example of a vehicle, we book a vehicle or a four-wheeler, so it requires 1 month, 2 months time to get delivered, right? So company gives you a tentative date that on this date it will be delivered. So if company is not fulfilling that promise, then the things are not proper or correct in that particular company. So if it is done on the same date or before that, we can say that they are having the ideal procedure of doing work. So these things are the objectives of objective behind the time study or the work measurement. Then there are techniques for work measurement. Time study, the very obvious, short cycle repetitive jobs. So we can study the time taken for the particular job. So many rapid things or short cycle things we are doing in the company. So that are to be studied, and that can be done with the stopwatch. Or nowadays so many techniques are used because we have to measure the time. So for time taken for a activity. Then work sampling can be done for long cycle jobs. If the jobs are done for a period of time, or we can say it takes a lot of time to complete a job, so for that we can go for work sampling. If they are short cycle jobs, then we can go for time measurement. Here we can go for work sampling. And then there is PMTS, that is predetermined motion time standards. So this we'll see in detail. Selection of worker for time study, this is very obvious, as we have seen. One who is accepted as having the necessary physical attributes, so physically fit असला पाहिजे त्या जॉबसाठी. who possesses the required intelligence, त्याला इंटेलिजन्स असलं पाहिजे, एज्युकेशन असलं पाहिजे त्याच्यासोबत, he should be qualified, and has acquired the necessary skill and knowledge to carry out the work to the satisfactory standard of safety, quality and quantity. So that worker who is having that knowledge, having that physical attributes, physically he is fit for that job, having that qualification, and who is having the skill to perform that job to a specified level of quantity, quality and safety. So that worker we can call him as the ideal worker. In setting the time standards, especially when they are to be used for incentives. The standard to aim at is one which can be attained by a qualified worker. So, if we want to give certain motivation to the workers uh, in the form of some monetary gain, means some if you are aiming to pay certain incentives for a good work to a worker, so how we can get it? We can compare the working of that worker with the standard. So if it is up to the standard, we can that worker will be able to get the incentives, or otherwise if he is not doing his job to the standards, then he may not be. So by doing this, we can decide the method for incentives. A representative worker is one whose skill and performance is the average of the group under consideration. He may not be necessarily be a qualified worker. So it can be say worker who is working or the representative worker. Skill and performance will be the average of the group of worker under consideration. So this is, we can say, how we can select the worker. Then steps in work measurement. So these steps in work measurement we will see in the next video.